25 facts for every year of Pokemon. Pokemon has been around for a long time, and a lot of things happen throughout the years. So in celebration of the 25th anniversary, in this video, I'm gonna go over 25 really cool things that happened in each year of Pokemon. And hey, Sident made a bet with me saying that you could have subscribed to this channel within the first 25 seconds of this video. So if you want to prove him wrong, click that subscribe button down below, because you only have like 2 seconds left. It's free and helps out the channel a ton. So with that said, here we go. Now, we all know this one. The Mew under the Trunk theory was infamous back in 1996. Because during those days, Mew was an urban legend. No one knew how to get one, and it wasn't available anywhere in the game. So of course, fan theories were going to be sparked all around the nation, and the Mew under the Trunk one just kind of stuck. And the reason why this truck became so famous with this theory is because it was hidden from the player when boarding onto the SS Anne in the Vermilion Docks. The only way to reach this truck was to purposely lose on the SS Anne and spawn back to the Pokemon Center and then get surfed later and then come back and swim around. Suffice it to say, this truck was very well hidden, so fans all around Japan thought Gamefreak was hiding something. And of course, Mew was the very first suspect, so everyone was trying to figure out the key to unlocking Mew through this truck. But as we all know, there was no Mew under the truck, it was just a random cosmetic for that area. But funny enough, Gamefreak added a hidden lava cookie in Fire and a Leaf Green south of the truck as a nod to this famous rumor, probably. Which is pretty hilarious, all of this work and theorizing for a cookie. Back in the late 80s and all of the 90s, Nintendo hosted a yearly video game trade show known as Nintendo Space World. And during the year of 1997, fans who went to the show saw the early build of Pokemon Gold and Silver. And like we saw just recently, this demo was vastly different than how Pokemon Gold and Silver's final release looked like. Ranging from completely different starter Pokemon to the way buildings and NPCs looked, to even Pokemon that were later scrapped during the 2 years after this event. So 1997 was a pretty interesting year for Pokemon. It was during a time that Pokemon that were Pokemon, but now aren't Pokemon, if that makes any sense. Now in 1998, Pokemon Yellow was released in Japan. But did you know Pokemon Yellow was originally going to have a companion game just like Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and Ruby and Sapphire? Yeah, it was originally going to have Pokemon Pink as its counterpart. And in this counterpart game, the main Pokemon was going to be a Clefairy, so instead of Pikachu following you around, you would have a Clefairy following you around. Which is pretty cool because originally in the Pokemon anime, Ash was going to have a Clefairy for his starter. And since Pokemon Yellow was based on the anime, it's pretty cool that Clefairy is kind of an homage to the original starter that Ash was going to have. And on top of that, the main character in Pokemon Pink was probably going to be a female. And since there was no female option in Pokemon Red and Blue, this would have been a great game to appeal to the female audience. And honestly, I think it would have been really cool seeing Pokemon Yellow and Pokemon Pink released together. It just seems like a classic pair, seeing Pikachu and Clefairy as rivals. Now, did you know in 1999, Yoshi was actually in Pokemon Red and Blue? Yeah, because according to an excerpt by Nintendo Power magazine, Yoshi was available in the game. And the only way the player could get it was by training a Dratini and evolving it, and then using a Firestone on the Dragonite. And this had to be true, right? Because they had pictures of Yoshi in the game and evolving from a Dragonite. And if you were 5 years old like me, you totally believed this and wanted to do this yourself. But as you probably guessed, yes, this was an April Fool's joke and fooled everyone around the world. Because coming from the Nintendo magazine, everyone just assumed that this was true. And seeing Yoshi in Pokemon format and having stats and movesets and even a typing, it just seemed completely believable. So this was probably the earliest troll when it comes to Pokemon, the Yoshi and Pokemon Red and Blue troll. And I guess canonically, if Yoshi was in Pokemon, it'd be a Dragon Flying type because Nintendo Power magazine gave it that typing, which is a pretty cool takeaway from this April Fool's joke. In 2000, there was this musical called Pokemon Live. And even though it only lasted 5 months and technically isn't part of the canon of Pokemon, there were a lot of tidbits that were touched on that were never mentioned in the anime. Like for example, Misty actually has a crush on Ash in this musical. She just straight up says to Ash that she has feelings for him, which is pretty funny because that would never happen in the anime. Not even between Ash and Serena, I believe, but I didn't watch that part of the anime, so I'm not sure. Also, the mystery surrounding Ash's father is kind of touched on in this musical as well, because Ash's mom, Delia, tells Professor Oak that she dated Giovanni in her teenage years. But once she met Ash's father, she left the gang and went on to do mom stuff. So according to this, maybe Ash's dad was a part of Team Rocket like Delia kind of was. Maybe he's in jail for doing crimes, I don't know. And finally, the last tidbit that I could find was that the voice actors for Giovanni and James went on to be the voices for the 4Kids dub of the anime. So it's pretty funny to know that the original Giovanni and James can sing. Now, I didn't even know this one until I started making this video. In 2001, Nintendo launched a handheld game console called the Pokemon Mini. And this handheld was themed all around Pokemon, with games that were basically Mario Party mini games, but with Pokemon slapped on it. And fun fact, this is actually the smallest handheld with interchangeable game cartridges ever produced by Nintendo. So it was even smaller than the Game Boy Micro that came out later in 2005. And it had games like Pikachu Bros, Pokemon Breeder, Pokemon Party, and even Pokemon Pinball, or even the Pokemon Puzzle Collection. It had all these mini games that were very Mario-esque like games. But unfortunately, it wasn't the most popular system, so it didn't last long. But it still happened in 2001. In 2002, one of the most sad parts of the Pokemon anime, Ash, Misty, and Brock part ways. Yeah, after being together for 5 years, they decided to write off Brock and Misty and introduce new characters. And this is when Max and May came into the anime and replaced Brock and Misty. But Brock wasn't replaced for long because in the Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire season, he came back. All because Ash, May, and Misty forgot to pack their lunch and they were hungry. So he came to the rescue and made some soup. And fun fact, this was actually the last season of the Pokemon anime that I remember watching. I'm not sure why I stopped watching, but yeah. In 2003, this is when the Pokemon Company took over the TCG because originally the Wizards of the Coast were the sole producer of the cards. So if you remember the classic Charizard card or the Crystal Pokemon cards or even the e-reader cards, these were all made by the Wizards of the Coast. And then once the Pokemon Company took over, the card art kind of changed, and you probably noticed that. And as much as I like the full art GX, EX, V cards, the original Pokemon cards just have a really classic feel to them. I just love the art. It's simple but awesome, which is why these cards go for thousands and thousands of dollars. Even the Charizard cards like at $500,000 now. In 2004, Gamefreak did something very abnormal for them. They released an event Pokemon that would fix a bug in an already released Pokemon game, which was Ruby and Sapphire. And the glitch was known as the Berry Glitch, which basically after 366 days of the Pokemon game being started, time-based events would stop. So you couldn't grow berries, you couldn't evolve your Eevee, and you couldn't capture Pokemon that only appeared at night, if that was even a thing in Generation 3. So in order to fix this glitch, Gamefreak released an event Pokemon that had data in it that would patch this bug. And this event Pokemon was a Shiny Zigzagoon that had a Lychee Berry on it, so it was very appealing to get. Because not only a shiny Pokemon was pretty rare in Generation 3, the Lychee Berry was even rare because it only appeared on Mirage Island. And of course, they had other methods of patching this bug like through Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon Channel, e-reader patch, but in my opinion, the event Shiny Zigzagoon was probably the most ingenious one, which was pretty iconic for 2004. In 2005, we had another April Fool's joke, but this time it wasn't by Nintendo Power Magazine. This time around, it was by Core Magazine, which, if y'all know, is a very famous magazine that releases leaked Pokemon. And in their April issue, they quote-unquote revealed that Hey You Pikachu will be ported on the Nintendo DS. And along with that, a new Pokemon would appear with Pikachu known as Koretsu, which would be a Pokemon that you would interact with Pikachu and possibly go on adventures with. But as we all probably know, it was just an April Fool's joke. But interesting enough, this Pokemon looks strikingly similar to Shinx. So maybe this Pokemon was a beta design for Shinx in the early stages of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which wouldn't surprise me at all. In 2006, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl introduced a special physical split to attacking moves, which basically changed the whole concept to Pokemon battling. Because now you're not stuck with physical moves for, let's say, Rock-type Pokemon and special moves for Fire types. So Pokemon like Hitmonchan, who had elemental punches, could now use their physical attack stat to do a lot of damage. Because back in Generation 1 and 2 and even 3, Hitmonchan was pretty useless because his special stat wasn't as good. So this change really opened a lot of doors to a lot of Pokemon in the meta. And overall, it made Pokemon battling more fun and interesting, so it was definitely a good change of pace for the game. In 2007, the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Ranger, introduced probably the rarest Pokemon to ever exist. And that Pokemon is a shiny Metaphy after hatching it from an egg after beating the game. And the reason why it's so rare is because you only get one egg per cartridge. So getting a shiny Manaphy would be insanely hard, and only a handful of people have gotten it. And if you want to check out one of my earliest videos, my top 10 rarest Pokemon of all time video, and see what the other 9 Pokemon are, I'll leave a link for you guys down below. In 2008, scientists discovered an extracellular matrix-like retinal protein, which is a fibronectin type 3 laminin G-like domain-containing protein, which is basically a protein that's located in your eyes. And whatever that means, these scientists named it after the Pokemon Pikachu, with the name Pikachurin. And the reason why it's named Pikachurin is because proteins always end with the letters IN at the end of their name. And they probably just added the R to make it easier to pronounce, so it wouldn't be Pikachuin. But honestly, after saying that out loud, it sounds a lot better than Pikachurin. But in hindsight, they were probably trying to avoid copyright as well. In 2009, not much happened, but Pokemon Heart Gold and Silver were released during this year, and those are arguably the best Pokemon games ever made. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. They are the best Pokemon games ever made, and let me know in the comments if you agree with me. Are you Team Heart Gold Soul Silver or Team not Heart Gold Soul Silver? In 2010, the Pokemon Nuzlocke format was created. Yeah, if you didn't know, the Nuzlocke rules were created by a comic artist known as Nick Franco. And in his comic with a C dot, he created the rules of a Nuzlocke. Hence the name Nuzlocke, which originated from the evolution of C dot with Nuzleaf. So if you're wondering where Nuzlocke started and where they originated from, look at Nick Franco's comics from 2010. It's a pretty cool tidbit. In 2011, the famous Who's That Pokemon segment came back to the Pokemon anime. And before the hiatus, the last Pokemon to appear was Metaphy in 2004. And then after they brought it back, the first Pokemon to appear was Pidove in 2011, which was over a 6-year gap in between, which is pretty crazy. In 2012, Rizzo became the first Pokemon player to three-peat the Pokemon World Championships, with winning the Senior Division in 2010, 2011, and then 2012. And Gamefreak was so impressed by his three-peat that they actually added him in Pokemon Black and White 2. He became an NPC in the Pokemon World Tournament, and his team was the same team that he won the World Championships with in 2012. Which is pretty dang awesome. That is like a life goal to be a Pokemon trainer in a Pokemon game. Maybe one day Gamefreak will add me in the games and I'll be a trainer with a fart and a Psyduck. That would be epic. In 2013, the first speedrun world record to beat Pokemon Red with Nidoking was made. And the person who set this world record was a speedrunner known as Extra Tricky. And because of him, Nidoking became popularized in Pokemon Red speedrunning because it was just insanely good. With the early access of a Nidoran on Route 22 just west of Viridian City, and being able to evolve it as early as Mount Moon by getting a Moonstone just laying around, and then learning Thrash, Earthquake, Horn Drill, Rock Slide, just all these moves were just perfect for the Red speedrun. And this Nidoking strat has gotten so complex today that there's actually a manipulation west of Viridian City that spawns you a level 4 Nidoran with perfect stats. So this world record was very impactful for Pokemon Red speedrunning, and thanks to this Nidoking, it has shaved down 10 whole minutes off the world record since then. In 2014, probably the most impactful Pokemon thing that happened in the decade was Twitch Plays Pokemon. And to put it short, it was basically a live stream of Pokemon Red where thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people could control the game using their inputs in the chat. And it got so out of hand that the creator created something called Anarchy and Democracy, where basically the chat could vote on which mode to play in, which Anarchy allowed anyone to do inputs, while Democracy just picked the most chatted command for the player to do in Pokemon Red. So if 10 people pressed A and then one person pressed B, A would have won in Democracy. But in Anarchy, that one B press probably would have gone through. And on top of that, Twitch Plays Pokemon got so popular that the fandom just got crazy. There was lore with everything around the game, like Lord Helix, the Bird Jesus, Jay Leno, which was a Rattata, and Flareon, who was the false god who betrayed the entire team. I even did a Twitch Plays Pokemon timeline video 4 years ago, and I never got back to it. But if you truly want to see it come back, let me know in the comments, and if a comment gets like 5,000 likes, I might do it. In 2015, Gamefreak distributed an Arceus with every single play in Japan for about 6 months. And what's unique and interesting about this event is that one of the Arceuses was the first and only shiny Arceus to ever be distributed in ever. And to my knowledge, this is the only legitimate shiny Arceus that you can obtain ever, which makes it a pretty rare Pokemon and kind of a big deal. In 2016, Pokemon Go was insane, because in its first month after launching, it logged 130 million downloads on mobile devices. And according to Guinness World Records, this was a world record. And on top of that, Pokemon Go set another world record for the fastest time to get $100 million in revenue from a mobile game. which took Niantic about 20 days, which is pretty insane. Like, imagine making $100 million in revenue in 20 days. Like, jeez. In 2017, the YouTuber Mr. Squishy created the first playable Pokemon Red game that resided in vanilla Minecraft. Yeah, I'll just let that sink in. He literally created and coded Pokemon Red in a Minecraft game using only command blocks and a texture pack. So yeah, consume that. Let me know in the comments, are you consuming this? Consume it. In 2018, we all know this, the Surprise Pikachu meme became a hit. And I want all of you, after watching this video, to join the Dobbs Nation Discord server and show your best Surprise Pikachu meme in the meme channel. But don't forget to subscribe though, before you go. Subscribe to this channel. It's been over 20 seconds, I know, but subscribe. In 2019, spoilers ahead in the anime, spoilers ahead, Ash finally becomes the champion. And yeah, it took him like 23 years or so. Took him a while. In 2020, a fish discovered a glitch in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah, there was literally a fish playing Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire with a camera sensor thing, and it actually discovered a glitch. So 2020 was pretty wild. In 2021, which is this year, Pokemon Legends was announced, which is probably the first open world Pokemon game we've been asking for the past 20 years. It's only March right now, so we're not exactly sure, but it looks pretty promising. And if you have any theories on what the Legend of Arceus is going to be about, let me know in the comments. I can't wait to see what y'all theorize down there. And there you go, 25 facts for the 25 years of Pokemon. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to support me on Patreon, click on the button right here. I spend days, if not weeks, on these videos, and the YouTube algorithms really favor that, so it helps me out a ton. You get to talk to me and also see sneak peeks of future videos, so there's a lot of cool things that come with being a Patreon. And also, if you want to binge watch my videos, be sure to click on the end card right now and start binging. And yeah, that's all for this video, and I'll see y'all next time. See ya.